Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack how to completely stop waiting around for something to finally change in your life, and instead, how you can actually become the absolute most magnetic version of yourself. We are talking about highly practical, actionable tools pulled straight from today's source material to help you build some seriously unshakable energy.
You know exactly the type of person I'm talking about, right? They walk into a room and they just bring this incredible lightness, a quiet confidence, and a real spark with them. And look, it's not because everything in their life is absolutely perfect. Not at all. It's because they've intentionally decided who they are becoming. So we're going to explore how you can get yourself out of a negative spiral and cultivate that same powerful, alive presence. And to be clear, it's not about being fake positive or totally delusional. It's about fundamentally rewiring your brain and shifting your mindset from the ground up.
Okay, let's dive right into this blueprint. We are treating your mind like a house that we're building from scratch. Our agenda for this build is building your new identity, rewiring through daily habits, dismantling your hidden blocks, upgrading your language, and finally, visualizing and celebrating success.
So, step 1, building your new identity through repetition and proof.
The absolute foundation of this entire blueprint is identity building, and this relies entirely on daily repetition. Every single morning, as soon as you possibly can after waking up, when your brain is still, open, impressionable, and honestly a little bit gullible, you want to complete these 3 specific steps to inspire real change. First, write down a new identity. Second, actively look for proof of it in your reality. And third, take one actionable step to actually live it out today. Now, here is an absolutely crucial point about that first step. Your new identity has to be a believable stretch. Think about it. If you're currently really struggling with a lack mentality and you confidently write down, "I am a millionaire," your brain's inner critic is going to immediately reject it. It'll just list out all the reasons why that's literally not true. So instead, you have to scale it down. Try something a bit more realistic like, "Money is flowing my way," or "I see abundance everywhere." You basically have to train your mind to look for proof of something it can actually accept. Moving right along to part 2, rewiring through daily habits and upgrading your daily interactions. Next up, we are framing the house by installing new daily habits. And these habits are designed to automatically train your mind to look for the positive aspects of your day. You can pick a simple phrase, something like, "I am the luckiest person in the world," or maybe "I was born under a lucky star." Whenever the absolute tiniest positive thing happens, like snagging a great parking spot or, walking up to a crosswalk and the light instantly turns green, repeating this phrase instantly shifts your energetic state. You're literally wiring your brain to start noticing the good stuff. And whenever you face a daily inconvenience, there's this one incredibly powerful question you get to ask yourself. What would this look like if it were fun? I know it sounds super simple, but it is a massive pattern interrupt for a frustrated brain. Seriously, just think about the last time you were sitting in dead-stop traffic or waiting in some painfully long line, dealing with a last-minute cancellation or listening to annoying construction noise right next door. If you're a naturally impatient person, those little things can totally ruin your mood for the whole day. But asking how it could be fun, maybe by striking up a conversation with someone in line or just blasting a new playlist, it completely changes your perception. And ultimately, the way you interact with your reality really is everything.
Let's look at part 3 now, dismantling your hidden blocks and removing the plumbing hurdles.
To keep building this house, we have to look at the deep psychological patterns hiding underneath the surface. Often, the part of you that feels really negative or guarded, it isn't actually broken. It's secretly trying to protect you. So ask yourself this: what is the worst thing that could happen if I became super positive? You might suddenly realize you subconsciously hold this belief that being too positive means you won't be prepared when bad things inevitably happen. You're basically just constantly bracing for impact instead of actually enjoying your life. But here's the magic. Once you notice that belief, it immediately starts to loosen its grip on you. Another great way to dismantle these blocks is to figure out exactly where you are leaking energy. Are you obsessively stalking an ex online? Are you following accounts that constantly make you feel less than? Are you always over-explaining yourself to people? To stop giving your precious life force away, identify your personal energy leaks and just choose one. Just one habit to break today. Take your power back. Which brings us right into section 4, upgrading your language and shifting your internal dialogue. Upgrading the literal words you use day to day is so vital because removing just a handful of phrases can fundamentally readjust your entire mindset. Saying "I can't" acts like a straitjacket for your identity. Think about saying "I can't cook" or "I can't do public speaking."
Replacing that with I choose not to or I don't flips a rigid limitation into a totally empowered decision. You get to investigate why you choose not to do it, but you stop artificially shrinking yourself.
Similarly, we absolutely need to rethink the word should. I should have finished school. I should be working out. I should be rich already. The word should usually represents expired childhood expectations that were placed on you by your parents, your culture, or your environment. Most of the time, it has absolutely nothing to do with what you actually deeply desire. Replace it with proactive, exciting phrases like I get to, I choose to, or I can't wait to. It's a completely different vibe.
Finally, Section 5, Visualizing and Celebrating Success. This right here is the roof of the blueprint.
We put the roof on our blueprint by providing the essential proof your brain needs to lock in this whole new identity. A very simple 5-minute daily practice, ideally right in the morning, where you vividly imagine and, more importantly, emotionally feel the things you deeply want, literally proves to your brain that this reality is completely possible for you. And honestly, you don't need an hour of meditation to do this. 5 minutes of truly feeling those emotions works absolute wonders.
Now, if you're someone who struggles to make visualization actually feel real, here is a fantastic trick straight from our source material. Try the minor inconvenience hack. Basically, you imagine your absolute perfect scenario. Let's say a beautiful, romantic picnic date with the love of your life. But to make it feel super grounded in reality, add a silly, minor inconvenience. Like, imagine a bird just poops on your date's shoulder. It sounds completely ridiculous, I know, but adding that tiny little flaw actually tricks your brain into feeling like this lofty dream is a very real, tangible event.
And finally, you have to complete the identity building loop. Remember, it's all about repetition and proof. So you must actively create a dedicated space to celebrate your wins and acknowledge the progress you've made, no matter how ridiculously small it might seem. Call it a celebratory circle time. Do it alone, do it with a friend, or honestly, just sit down with your dog, give him a treat, and celebrate yourself. Actively acknowledging your success fundamentally changes your relationship with yourself, and that is everything. I'm going to leave you with this final provocative question. Whenever you feel like you're miles away from your goals and you start, really getting down on yourself, just pull this out of your back pocket. Ask yourself, how am I already living the life of my dreams? Let it shift your focus back to gratitude, help you recognize the amazing progress you've already made, and allow you to fully embrace the magnetic energy you are already building. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you start applying these tools today.